Ukraine and the United States are very close to a final deal on mineral rights, President Trump said Monday, adding that the war-torn country's president, Volodymyr Zelensky, may visit Washington this week or next week to sign the agreement. "I think we've made a lot of progress," Trump said of the rapidly advancing minerals deal during a White House press conference with French President Emmanuel Macron. Macron commended Trump's decision to work with President Zelensky and to conclude this agreement, and for having substantive conversations with President Zelensky during this key phase of achieving this deal, which is a major commitment to Ukraine's sovereignty. "I wish to say, after speaking with President Trump, I fully believe that there is a path forward," Macron said. "We share the same beliefs. We know what work needs to be done in the weeks to come. Our teams will come together in various formats to make sure that we have this solid, lasting peace with great strength." Kyiv had offered to sign the deal in Washington during a meeting of the country's leaders, and nearly all key details had been finalized, Ukrainian Minister of Justice Olga Stefanishina, who also serves as a deputy prime minister, said in a post to X earlier Monday. "The negotiations have been very constructive, with nearly all key details finalized," Stefanishina said. "We are committed to completing this swiftly to proceed with its signature." The agreement, valued at up to $500 billion, has inched toward completion after Trump and his special envoy to the region, retired General Keith Kellogg, engaged in a round of good cop, bad cop with the Kyiv government. While the president spent the early part of last week blasting Zelensky as a dictator, the general spent 3 days in the Ukrainian capital, holding a series of intense negotiations with leaders including Zelensky. Little additional information about the agreement has been shared since Friday, though Ukrainian Economy Minister Yulia Sviridenko and Andriy Yermak, head of the Office of the President, excused themselves from a Sunday forum on the 3-year anniversary of Russia's full-scale invasion to continue talks with Washington. Support for a mineral deal has been steadily growing among Ukrainians as Kyiv considers the state of its post-war economy. Ukrainian experts told tapping into Ukraine's resources, literally, is a potential key piece of the plan. While the country has been mining ore since Soviet times, interest in expanding the market is a relatively new phenomenon, and the U.S. could play a role in helping doing so. Former Ukrainian Minister of Infrastructure Oleksandr Kubrakov told The Post on Monday, "What we need from the U.S. side is investments and technologies, because again, be realistic, we were not able to construct even one new mine during 30 years of independence from the Soviet Union," he said. While Ukraine is rich in both critical and rare earth minerals, it would still take roughly 5 to 7 years to build the necessary infrastructure to drill and process the resources needed to make a substantial profit. Kubrakov and Ukrainian mining industry sources told American business can play a significant role in the security of the region, especially such as the extraction of rare earth metals and minerals, which requires huge investments that America will then protect. Still, some in Ukraine, without seeing the details of the arrangement, consider the potential deal predatory and say it should be rejected, with a protest planned for Tuesday outside the U.S. Embassy in Kyiv. However, there is a growing sentiment that a mineral rights agreement could give Trump a tangible reason to protect Ukraine from Russia and boost both the U.S. and Ukraine's economy. "We need to do everything we can to demonstrate to the Trump administration our place and role in their strategy to show them that we can be beneficial," Chief of the Main Directorate of Intelligence of Ukraine, Kirilo Budanov, told The Post in Kyiv on Monday. "At the same time, we need to be introducing them to our strategic interests and our concepts we have in our minds, and this will lead us to a kind of common understanding and common position." On Sunday, Zelensky told The Post that any deal needs to include security guarantees for Ukraine against Russia in writing, beyond the promise of U.S. investment. "I know that the United States of America believes that this agreement is part of the security guarantees, and I would really like to agree, but it should be written in the deal that these are security guarantees and not just for you and me to say that we think that's the case," he said.